Who got time to edit it? I don't. Oh yeah, it's been on the last few ones. Is this the door unless you want to put it on you? Oh. I will. All right. So we talked about we talked about like the beginning part. We talked about careers in healthcare last week. Now we're gonna talk about how to choose a health career, and yeah, it's Monday.
What do you learn?
All right. So these are our objectives. All right. All right. So our objectives are to describe information used to choose a career, identify resources for career research, and describe a career path.
Choosing a career.
All right. So choosing a career from a full realm of possibilities can be an exciting challenge. Although the process involves making some complex decisions, you will be able to manage it if you focus on matching your interests, abilities, and needs with a career that fits them well. All right, so to do this, you will have to find out information about yourself as well as about different careers. You might start by asking yourself questions such as, what am I really like? What are my strengths? What might I want to be doing in 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years? Some of y'all probably might not know what y'all want to do in 1 month, but it's okay. You got some adults that don't have a clue, so I'm not surprised if some kids don't know what they want to do yet. And then things change, so
Personal values.
all right, so your personal values or standards are what you believe is important and meaningful. You use them as a guide for how you want to live, including what career to choose. Some values to consider are, what y'all talking about over there? Y'all good? Y'all done? Do we need to pause for y'all to talk? Finish? No? Okay. All right, how much money will you need to make in order to support your desired lifestyle? Because some people got champagne taste on a beer budget. That means y'all trying to live beyond your means. Will you have a greater sense of security if you earn a regular salary? Do you want to work the same schedule every day? Do you think it's better to have more time for your personal life than more money earned from overtime? Does the independence of working for yourself and making your own decisions appeal to you? Would you prefer a job that gives you a high profile where you are recognized by many people? Do you want to be in a leadership role where you're responsible for directing the actions of others? Do you like the idea of being a positive influence on the community and helping others? Do you feel it is key to use your creativity to make things? It's likely that no one career will meet all of your desires. People often have to make compromises or decide what to give up in exchange for something else. So I've given up working 3 days a week to working 5 days a week. But I also gained, I'm off on the weekends, I'm off on holidays because hospitals don't close. There's nothing like a holiday. So you're always working. And it depends on where you work really because I worked at a place where we could kind of choose. We had to do like one winter holiday and one summer holiday. So the winter holiday I would work would be Thanksgiving because I hate Black Friday, so I'm not into all that going. I just buy everything online. I don't like spending like people. So I don't care for that. All the people that want to do all that, they will be off. But I wanted to be off for Christmas to be with my kids. So and I usually was off New Year's too, I think. So it just depends. You got some people that worked, that worked all holidays because it's money, it's extra money. So and then if it fell on a weekend, it was more money because you get weekend shift differential. You get weekend differential, you get holiday pay, and I work night shift, so I would get nighttime pay too. So um, so it just depends on what works best for your family. Of course, when I was younger, before I started having kids, um, I could do all that. I just work and work and work and work and work. Now, not so much. You got kids that's got this, got that. want to spend family time. So that all that stuff was more important to me than always, not being off, not sleeping well because I work night shift, being sleepy all the time, missing this. If something happened that day and I worked night before, if I didn't get up, then I missed it because I couldn't wake up. I was sleepy, so I missed some things. So that's just you got to figure out what works best for you. Um, the key to finding a satisfying career is knowing which items are your highest priorities. Then you can pursue a career that meets those desires, and you will probably be more pleased with your choice. All right. The key to finding a satisfying career is knowing what your highest priorities are. True. That's true.
Exploring careers.
All right, so in order to find a career that fits you well, you need to find out as much as you can about different types of work. Since there are so many possible careers, it is best to start your research by reviewing plus materials that will help you narrow your focus. All right, so you need to know that reviewing published materials is the best way to start your research. Looking for a job. Reviewing published materials is best to start your research, or you can do it this way. It is best to start your research by reviewing published materials. However, way you want to write it. Just know that reviewing published materials is the correct answer. So you start by researching. You might hear about a job. You might, not know what it is. Okay, so you Google it. Then you start reading about it, seeing what it requires and stuff like that. So that might be something that interests you. You might have heard somebody say it. Y'all like to watch people on YouTube and all that stuff. So you might see somebody on there and they talk about something, you have no clue what it is. You Google it. Okay, you decide that's what you want to do. And that's the proper thing to do, is to start by reviewing published materials. Um, so these materials may include books, magazines, and other items to read about employment. One good idea is to look at professional journals for various careers. Other materials may include audio tapes and videos that show people in actual work settings. So YouTube, you can type in anything and find people doing almost anything. In my internship classes, in my internship class, I usually do have YouTube videos because like when we're doing bed making or like transferring patients from the wheelchair to the bed, like it's easier. I'm more of a see it, do it type person. So some of them are like that as well. So if they see it actually being done, it gives a better like understanding of what you're actually supposed to be doing. Even when I was in respiratory school, we did all this bookwork, notes, until I actually saw it, actually went to clinicals. It didn't really click to me, just learning about it, okay, but actually doing it was when it really stuck to me, to know what it was or what to do. You can find materials at your school career center or guidance office, library at school or local public or college or university library, internet, especially on career information websites. Not just any old, y'all Google and y'all click the first thing that pops up. Some stuff is just, some stuff are just people just giving information, but you need to look for like a reputable one. And we'll talk about one that you could use to look at later.
Exploring careers.
All right, beyond using published materials, the next step in research is to talk to some people about careers that interest you. So you might have family and friends that are in a career that you like, other people in the community to interview about their work, set up opportunities for job shadowing, where you get to see firsthand a day in the life of someone working in a particular career. And a lot of people do that, especially in the medical field. I don't know as far as with COVID going on. I know last year my students could not go to internship because of COVID. And then this year, we still don't know. She said she wasn't sure if they could come, but that's the opportunity for job shadowing. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure that, they're safe. So if they don't get to go this year, hopefully all this will be behind us soon. Another option is to arrange limited worksite experiences where you can try out a job in the career area Then you can see if you might like that type of work as a full-time career. Such experiences may include temporary work, which lasts only a short span of time. It may be available during summer and holiday school breaks. Like some people might work, like they go to college and then they might come home and they already have a job, so they got it set up where they can, when they go come on breaks like Christmas or spring break or something, or the summer, then they could work wherever it is that they work. Part-time work takes up only a portion of a full work week but is done regularly, and then volunteer work, which has no pay but offers valuable experience. So you need to write volunteer work down. Y'all good? All right, how is it best to start your research about careers? Huh? Okay. An experience where you get to see firsthand a day in the life of someone working in a particular career is called what? Y'all sure?
No, job shadow.
Job shadowing. Volunteer work? Why would you put volunteer when you got a job right there? Oh, y'all need to write this one down too. I forgot to tell y'all that. Just write number 3, and it's job shadowing. So you'll follow. I mean, shadowing means like follow somebody around, but you'll get to see what they actually do. Not necessarily doing it, I guess per se, but kind of just like following them around to see what they do. So job shadowing. All right, which type of work has no pay but offers valuable experience? Volunteer work. All right, y'all still need 3? Am I still writing? My kid's school system went mask optional today. They went mask optional. Huh? Do they have a mask on? Who's their mother?
They can take it out. Like,
The COVID case must not be high down now.
They have gone down, but I mean, they're fixing to go back up. So, I mean, so I just feel like it's gonna go right back. But we're not gonna contribute to the cause. So I already told them what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to still wear them on the bus. But my 9-year-old has already brought COVID home, so I told her don't do it again. She swears it wasn't her, but it was. It was her. So, it was not me. Yes, it was. So she knows.
I mean, even if she kept the mask on, okay, but during lunch.
Well, I just told her to do exactly what she's been doing since they started. Well, she wore the mask all last year because both of them went the full year last year. We had no quarantine. We had nothing. Nobody got sent home. Their classes, the whole year they went to school. Only reason they were quarantined this year was because right when she was going to summer camp, she was not wearing her mask because they wasn't enforcing it. I wasn't there, so she brought COVID home, and that's the only reason why they were ever quarantined. But they don't play all that. Because guess who was trick or treating with that mask on? I was. Because I don't play that. What you want to say?
She trying to say you doing too much.
I'm not doing too much.
I was saying you too old to trick or treat.
I wasn't trick or treating. I got kids in it. Yo, you see me out there talking about trick or treat? No.
Some adults like doing it.
Yeah, they do.
You know, Shelly talked about that the other day.
I wasn't. I was just walking behind them, making sure nobody snatched anybody up.
How old your children?
9. Well, the little one is 9, but we went down to Florida because my nephew had some twins during the pandemic. We have never met, so we went down there to see them, and then we took them, and then they got a 3-year-old sister, so they're 11 months, a boy and a girl, and then they got a 3-year-old sister, so we took them trick or treating. That's the only reason I went, because I wouldn't been in the house. But it was cold. We went Saturday though.
It was cold, man.
Yeah.
I was freezing.
It was cold, so. My 16-year-old stayed at the house. All right.
What?
I said my 16-year-old stayed at the house.
I thought you had 2 votes.
No, she ain't. She didn't care for it when she was that age. She was like, All right, so what to research? As you research careers, you should look for several different types of information about each one. It is most helpful to consider items such as job description, what tasks and duties are done in the career, working conditions. You need to write that one down. What hours are expected? What are the work settings? Working conditions. You got personal and physical qualities. What personality traits and abilities are best suited to the career? Education and training. What type of education does the career require? Where can people get training? Salary and wages. How much does a worker typically earn in the career? Does the amount increase with experience? Job outlook. Need to know that one. So you just need to know working conditions and job outlook and advancement. Those are the 3 that you need. I got working conditions, job outlook, and advancement. So job outlook means are the number of jobs in the future expected to increase, decrease, or remain steady? So, sometimes they phase out jobs, but you just looking to see like how is it supposed to grow in the next 5 to 10 years or whatever. You have professional organizations where groups exist to support the career. Then you have advancement. How likely are people to be promoted to higher level positions in the career? Hmm? Yeah, you need to know what it is to be able to recognize it. So just working conditions, job outlook, and then advancement.
Set in advancement.
Yes. Also, some of y'all that have not completed your work for last 9 weeks, some of y'all still need to retake your safety test. I attached it to you on Schoology because you have to make 100%. I sent a message out to some of y'all because we should be finding out how, because when I go into Power School now and I go to the first 9 weeks, everything is locked, so I can't change anything. So I think they're supposed to be telling us how we can go in, like for people that were quarantined, whatever, to do grade correction. So I want to get my work in, so when that time comes, I can put your grades in. So if that applies to you, you know, make sure you got your work, especially if you failed for the last 9 weeks. You should know that by now if you failed or not. I'm basically talking to people that failed. So if you failed, you need to make sure you get your work, get it turned in, so that when they open it up, because I think it's only going to be for a short amount of time that we're going to be able to put the grades in once they unlock it for us. Because right now, it's got this big old thing that says grades are locked, so you can't do anything.
So the answer is not 41. The answer is square root of 41. There's a big difference. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. 41 and the square root of 41 are not the same thing. So when you told me 41, your answer is wrong. The square root of 41, because even 41 squared is not 41. So you gotta tell me everything. I asked you, you said 41. That's not right. Alright, so let's look at the ladies. So this way would do if you were calculating the distance. Ladies, you need to write down this as well. Because even though you didn't have to do the distance, you still need to know how to. So doing the distance is what we needed to do. So we got the square root of 41. It's not a perfect square, so we can do along.
You got 4
Alright,
kids.
the ladies had us two answers.
You got 4 kids.
Let's talk about the big.
Oh, you don't like English.
So with the big point, what we write first?
You're a teacher. Why you want the curve?
Gosh, she be yelling for no reason. She started cussing us out the other day because the boys didn't know the answer to the question.
She kicked y'all what?
You know, it was cold up in there. And she started yelling at us because it was cold.
Alright, so now what we do?
This show better be there either.
And then at the end of the year, she told us, she said, I didn't teach y'all this thing, y'all supposed to learn. So we were like, we learned.
And also, how many days she missed school? She was missed for 2 weeks.
Well, you don't like going there, so if she ain't there, then
Now when she give a whole project in a whole test after she come back from missing.
no. She's just talking. She's just talking. Alright, which of these terms refers to what hours are expected for the job and what the work setting is?
Working conditions.
Which of these terms refers to whether the number of jobs in the future is expected to increase, decrease, or remain steady?
Job outlook.
Job outlook. Which of these terms refers to how likely people are to be promoted to higher level positions in the career? Advancement.
Career path. It is important to take career.
All right. All right, so it's important to take career research seriously. Yet also realize that most people change jobs several times in their lifespan. This is my second career. I had a first career, whatever. As far as in adulthood, as teenagers, I swear my students be like, I quit. They quit every week. I quit McDonald's. I quit. Well, else they say they work at Captain D's. They quit all the time. So, once you get to be an adult and you actually have a career, not just a job, then it's okay to change. It might, you might not be in love with it like you thought you would be, and then you want to take a different path. So that's fine. In fact, it's best to think of your career as a path or a ladder. Often you need to take several jobs as steps along the way to your ultimate career goal. First, you must decide what your end goal is. Then you should identify at what level you can enter the profession. Finally, you should plan the steps that will eventually lead to your end goal. It's okay to make changes to the plan along the way, but you will be more likely to achieve success and happiness if you at least start with the plan. All right, so you need to know what career goal is. So that is several jobs as steps along the way. That's your career goal. So several jobs as steps along the way is your career goal.
Let me stop you. Are you just saying 5 or 4? What are you saying? So how am I supposed to write this? Oh, that's how you want me to write? That's how you want me to write? Or you want me to write something else? What else you want me to write? Alright, so let's check it. Let's see if we all agree. So we're doing a distance, ladies. Tell me what we gonna do, ladies. Wait a minute, because I'm trying to figure out what's all this communication. So the only people we talking is the person who's female. And if we're not talking about something that's around the problem, you don't need to talk. Alright, gentlemen, tell me what you write for me.
All right, y'all good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All Several jobs are active steps along the way to a person's ultimate career goal, make up a career. Is it goal?
Career path.
Oh, hell. Wait.
What's your role?
Career path. It is
Oh,
important
it
to
should
pick
say path,
career.
not goal. Path.
Effects of changing your
Alright. As you learn, changing jobs may be a necessary step along the way to an ultimate career goal. There can be many positive results from changing jobs, such as pay increase. Unfortunately, there can also be negative results. Before changing jobs, potential positive and negative results need to be investigated. This investigation needs to be done to ensure any job change moves a career in the right direction. So it's always going to be positives and negatives to a job. Like we talked about for healthcare jobs, you got flexible scheduling, you got personal satisfaction. You know, those could be positive. It also could not be a positive for some people. Some people might like a set schedule, like 5 days a week, or you know, it just depends on the person. Pay increase. And a lot of times pay increase comes with how long you've been at a job. Like they give raises every so often. So, and then it could be the people you work with. You can't stand them. It just depends. So you gotta look at all the positive, all the negatives, you know, before you know changing your job. Because you might think you're gonna get something better, and you get there and it's not. So.
positive.
All right, so following are possible positive effects of changing jobs: opportunity to advance a career and earn better pay, opportunity to gain new experiences and skills, less travel and or better work hours. Negative effects are less job security. If there are layoffs, new employees with less seniority may be let go first. So if you're the first one, the last one hired, they're usually the first one fired. That's a little saying. Like here in the school system, you have to get what is called tenure, and that's after like 3 years. Because a lot you hear teachers getting pink slip, not because of their abilities, it's just because they were the last one there. But a lot of times they come back. I was pink slip like 1 year, but of course I'm the only teacher here, and I was only pink slip because I was the one of the last ones hired that year. So. It just depends. Loss of some benefits. So you got vacation or gain with longer periods of employment. So a lot of times, how long you work, you accrue like more vacation time. There's some people here that got so much time they could take a whole year off of work.
Isn't like another benefit like insurance?
Insurance. Some people work for the insurance or work for the benefits, having benefits or whatever. So, or some people work full time for the benefits because they can work part time, but you won't get benefits that are paid by your employer. You might have to pay out of pocket for it. Yeah. And then an unknown situation could cause problems. New jobs always present unknown situations. There may be a situation such as an unfriendly coworker that creates unexpected problems. So I don't really care about because I don't gotta talk to you, not for real. I mean, I can be cordial, get the job done, but we don't have to be friends. So. That doesn't bother me because it was one guy I couldn't he was so rude and like I just but I would do what I had to do because a lot of times I was in charge of him because I was his a lot of times I was the shift lead on night shift, so I would have he had to answer the meeting, which probably a lot, but who cares? And so I that type of stuff don't really, you just do what you're supposed to do to get the job done. We don't have to have all the back and forth. Going to a better job never has negative side effects. False, it can.
Lesson summary.
And then, we got like 2 more questions y'all need to write, or things y'all need to write. I don't know if it's in here.
What you'll learn. Careers.
Oh, that's not it.
Lesson summary.
What you'll learn. Career levels in healthcare.
All right, so we kind of talked about this. We talked about like degrees and stuff like that, certifications. So healthcare workers should plan to continue professional development throughout their careers. That's going to conferences, that's doing like my CEUs I had to do. That's professional development. Workers can enter the healthcare field at various levels. They often return to school to earn more advanced degrees. Common career levels in healthcare and their typical educational requirements are aide or assistant, that's 1 or more years of training on the job in the classroom or a combination of both. You need to know that aide or assistant, it requires the least amount of training. So if we're looking like hierarchy levels, aide or assistant is going to be at the bottom. So aide or assistant is going to be require the least amount of training.
Right inside.
So as you see here, you got 1 or more years of training, also on the job, in the classroom, or a combination of both. It's not like obtaining a career. So on a career, a degree. So that's usually at the bottom. So aide or assistant, it requires the least amount of training.
Write the distance formula. If you talk, you got a zero, you can move. Write the distance formula. There's nothing to discuss. I just said what I want you to write. Write the distance formula. Write the formula for distance.
So like above aide or assistant, you have technician, that's 2 year associate's degree or 3 to 4 years of on the job training. So we talked about associate's degree last time. We talked about, like Trenum, those community colleges, technical schools, stuff like that. That is gonna be your 2 year. Nope, I'll tell you what to write. All right now, just aide or assistant. Then you got technologist or therapist. That's 3 to 4 years of college plus work experience, usually a bachelor's degree, and sometimes a master's degree is required. So it just depends on the job. All right, so last one, professional. That requires the most amount. So what you wrote for aide or assistant, the least amount, you need to know that professional requires the most amount of training. So professional requires the most amount of training, which makes sense. So professional, 4 or more years of college with a bachelor's or master's degree or a doctorate. Often clinical training is also required. So these people, like these doctors that you see, they go to medical school forever. Too long for me. Yeah, just depending on what the specialty is. And then they have to have clinical, because you got to have your hands on. You got to know what you're doing, because I don't want nobody operating on my brain that never seen a real brain before. They need to have some kind of guidance as far as hands on. It's okay to have it all booked, but you need to know how to do it as well. So all you need to know for this one from this slide is aide or assistant, least amount of training, professional, most amount, greatest amount, whatever, most or greatest amount of training. Anybody still writing? No. Okay.
Career.
I mean, if you don't want to take it, you can get a 0. It's fine. It doesn't matter to me. I'll give it to you once it starts. Now, I've told you exactly what was, I just gave you all the questions. So it should not be any ifs if you wrote your notes down. If you did not write your notes down, then you're in trouble. I was looking at it straight at the quiz, giving you the questions and the answers. Everybody's using the phone logged in? Yes. trying to figure out how y'all missing stuff.
Like not hard, but like I had
All right. All right. Which of these terms refer to promotions to higher level position in the career? You got advancement. Somebody put education and training. Well, we wrote this down. Is that the trick question? No. What are the several jobs that act as steps along the way to a person's ultimate career goal? Career path. Somebody said all. Employers tell and why? Work hours, work setting. Why is it? Oh, they put too many more words in there. That's what it was. Yeah. What is this for discussing? Working conditions. Oh, somebody got a job outlook. What type of work has no pay but offers valuable experience? Okay, everybody got that. Okay, volunteer. How is it best to start doing research about possible careers? Oh. For example, what's that y'all road? We got somebody got interviews, job shadowing, part-time work. Which of these career levels generally requires the least amount of training? I gave y'all this, aid or assistant. Which requires the most? I gave y'all that one. You got professional. Somebody put aid or assistant. Nope. Article in a professional newsletter states that the number of workers needed in the profession is expected to increase over the next 5 years. What is this article discussing? That's your job outlook. Oh, good. All right, so I'll put those in the grade book.